Hey, welcome to the part 2 of the video series on Introduction to Decimals. So in the part 1 we discussed very briefly about decimal notation, and we discussed very briefly about the place values in a decimal notation. But we said that we will discuss them in a very detailed way in our next video. So this video is going to be about that only. So I have already drawn here some diagram, and what I'm going to discuss here is about, we are revisiting our discussion on the number place or the place value, or say the numeral system. Why? That will be clear within a moment. So let's say that let's take an imaginary situation or contrived situation where we have these are the line segments. Okay, this is one line segment, this is another line segment, this is one line segment, this is one line segment. So all these, just though they are not looking very equal, but assume that all these line segments are equal. Okay, all lengths of these line segments are equal. In this case we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 separate line segments. Okay, in this case what we have done is one line segment and then another line segment and then another line segment, 10 such line segments. Okay, 10 equal line segments, we have make a bundle of that. It's a bunch or a bundle of 10 line segments, and we have such 5 bunches. This 5 is telling you that this is one bunch or the bundle of 10 line segments, and we have such 5 bunches. Okay, so this is one bunch, there will be another bunch, there will be another bunch, so total 5 bunches of 10 line segments. This is a bunch of 100 line segments. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until 100 line segments, a bunch of 100 line segments, and we have set 7 bunches. So one bunch of 100 line segments, then another bunch of 100 line segments, then another, till we have total 7 such bundles or bunches. Okay, if this is 1, 2, 3 and 4 separate line segments, we have only 4, right? This is 4. It's only 4. So what you will say, you have 4, or you can write it like this, you have 4 ones, you have 4 ones or 4 ones. Why? Because you have only ones, one line segment, another one line segment, another one line segment, another one line segment. So you have 4 ones. It's a kind of, we are repeating or revising our numeral system, the representation in a numeral system. That's very important, so that we can build a very nice bridge when we are going to discuss about a place value, when we will discuss about decimal notation. That's very important. So we have 4 ones. Why ones? Ones, this is one, this is another one, this is another one, this is another one. Okay. In this case, if you'll see, you have a bundle of 10 line segments. We have one bundle is of 10 line segments, and we have such 5 bundles of 10 line segments. So we have 5 tens. This 5 is telling you 5 such bundles, and this tens is one bundle of 10 line segments. So we have 5 tens. So this is 5 tens. In this case, we have one bundle of 100 line segments, and we have such 7 bundles. So this is 7 hundredths. 7 hundredths. This 7 is telling you about 7 bundles, and this hundredths is telling you about this 100 line segments, right? One bundle of 100 line segments. So this is 7 hundredths. 7 hundredths. Now, if someone asks you that what do these number represent, if you have to write them in a form of number, how will you do that? So we'll say that, hey, this is 4 ones, so this is actually 4 times 1, right? This is 5 tenths. This is 5 times 10. This is 7 hundredths. That means is 7 times 100. This 7 means the bundle 7 bundles, and this 100 is the 100 line segments. And if I have to write them in the form of a number, and if I simply add them, this will be what? 700 plus 50 plus 4, and if you add them, this will be equal to 754. What I have tried here is to explain you again what these hundreds actually and the tens actually and the ones mean in a number system. So in this case we have 7 hundredths, that is a line segment of 100. We have such 7 bundles, so 7 hundredths. This is 5 tenths, 1 tenths, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths and 5 tenths. And in this case we have 4 ones, 1 4, 4 1 1, another one, another one, another one. So we have 4 ones. Okay, this is 754. This 4 is at the ones place, therefore this 5 is at the tens place, this is 7 is at the hundreds place. Okay. Let's suppose that in this case you have 1, 2, 3 and 4. You bring 5th one. Then you bring 6th one. Now you have 6 such ones. Then you bring 7 one. Then it will become 7 ones. Then you bring in 8 ones. So it will be 8 ones. Then you bring 9th one. So this will be 9 ones. And as you bring the 10th, as you bring in the 10th line segment, then it will become what? 10 ones. 10 ones. It means that a bundle of 10 line segments can be again formed. And don't you think that now this will be into this group? Because now you are having 10 line segments, then it is going to make a bundle of 10 line segments, and that will get shifted in this group, that is at a place of tens. In that case, when the 10th one come here and you have a bundle of 10 line segments, so that will move to this place, and now you will be having what? This will become 6. This count will become 6, and this place will become 0. Why? Because now you are having a bundle of 10 line segments that will be at this place, because this was only for the ones, but now since you are having 10 line segments and it will make a bundle, this will move here. Now what your number will be? This will be, in that case, it will be 0 ones in that case. As soon as a 10th comes, if it was 9, it would happen 9 ones. But as soon as a 10th came, now this will be 0 ones. Okay, this will be 0 ones. Why? Because the bundle of 10 line segments will be here now. And this will become what? This will become 6 tenths. 6 tenths. Now what your number will be? Your number will be 760. Okay. Now this is 760. This means that 7 hundredths, 6 tenths and 0 ones. Now, suppose that you are having now 6 bundles of 10 line segments. Another bundle of 10 line segments come. This becomes 7. Another bundle of 10 line segments comes, and this becomes 8 bundles. Another bundle of 10 line segments come. This becomes 9. And if you bring in another bundle of 10 line segments, then it's actually what? The count will become 10. And now you are having 10 bundles of 10 line segments, and if you will count them, one bundle is 10 line segments, so now you have total 10 bundles. It means that the total number of line segments will be what? That will be 100. Now since they have become 100, the total bundle will become 100. That will move here in this place. Why? Because in this case you have a collection of a bundle of 100 line segments. Each bundle is of 100 line segments, and if you bring here the 10th bundle, so the total number of line segments will become what? That will become 100, and therefore this will move to this place. Now in that case, you will have 0 tens here. You will have 0 tens here, 0 tens in that case. And this will become 8, and this will be 800ths. Is that clear to you? 800ths, right? So now if we reach to this point, 760, and after bringing 10 bundles, such bundles, this will become what? This will become 800ths, therefore this will be 8. This is 0 tens, so 0, and this is at 0 tens and at 0 1s, so this is 800. I'm just trying to explain you that what do we really mean by the place. It's kind of revision of the place value. Okay, so now we have, let's say that we have this 800 as a number of this one. Okay, so 0 1s, 0 10s, 800ths. Okay, we have such a number. Just remember this number. Now we are going to enter, we have this 800, where 800, 0 means ones, this is tens, and this is 800ths. So this is the 800 now. Let's take this line segment, a single line segment here, and just copy here. So if I take this line segment, just Control C and Control V. So this is here, and let me magnify this line segment. If I magnify it, let's say that so if I magnify it like this, okay, same line segment that has been magnified. We have reached to this point after looking at these, bundles and line segments and all. We have reached to this point, 800, and we have another line segment, but in this case only one line segment. And if I divide this line segment into 10 equal parts, so this is one, this is, let me make it smaller. This is one part, this is second part, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth, this is sixth, this is seventh, this is eighth, ninth, and 10th. Okay, though it's not very accurate, but just assume that all these parts are equal in their length, and that this particular line segment is actually the magnified version of this one, has been divided into 10 equal parts. Okay, if this has been divided into 10 equal parts, then what is this one equal part? One equal part will be what? The fraction represented by this one will be what? 1/10. That's what we had discussed in the case of fraction. If total 10 equal portions, this one portion will be what? 1/10. And that is what actually tenths. This is what actually tenths. This is what actually tenths. 1/10 of a certain thing which has been divided into 10 equal parts. 1/10, that is the tenths. Okay, this is another 1/10, right? Each part is actually 1/10. Why? Because this particular line segment has been divided into 10 equal parts, and if we are talking about one part, what fraction it will represent? It will represent 1/10. What fraction this will represent? It will also represent 1/10. This will also represent 1/10, and all up to here, each portion is actually 1/10, and that what a tenths mean. This is what a tenths, that you will learn a place value of tenths. So if I say that after this number 800, that is after having discussion of all these line segments, we have reached to this point, that is we are having 800 line segments. How? In such fashion. Now we have 800 plus I have this one line segment, but if I'm only talking about this particular line portion, so if this particular portion is given to you, just imagine out of this 10 portions, only this particular portion is given to you. Now, how many line segments do you have? You will say that I have 801 tenths. 1/10. Remember where we did here? This was 4 ones. This was 5 tenths. This was 7 hundredths. So in this case, if we have 800 already, what we discussed before. Now if this particular portion, only this portion is given to you out of this 10 line equal 10 portions, now will be having 801 tenths. Why this portion is only tenths? So you have only 1/10, and this 1/10 is actually what? This 1/10 is actually what? This is 1/10. This 1/10. 1/10 means this value. This 1/10. This is 1/10. And if you divide this 1/10, this will be equal to 0.1. Okay, this will be equal to 0.1. That means you have 800 and 0.1. That means that you have 800 and 1/10, and 1/10 means 0.1. That is 800 plus 0.1, and this can be written as 800.1. Right, now let's take another second line segment also. Now you have this particular portion and you have this portion also. Now you are having 2/10. In this case you are having 800 and this plus this. So you have now how many tenths? You have 2/10. Okay, now if we are having 2/10, that is this portion and this portion, what fraction do these portions represent out of this total 10 portions? This one portion, this is second portion, so the fraction that will be represented by these two portions will be what? 2/10. So therefore this 2/10 is nothing else but 2/10. Why 2/10? Because simple fraction, one portion and two portion, we are considering two portions, so 2 out of total 10 portions, therefore 2/10. That's a simple fraction. This is 2/10, and this 2/10 can be written as 0.2. Therefore if you are having 800 and 2/10, that means that you are having 800 plus 0.2, and that can be written as 800 and 0.2. Okay, here this one was telling you that you are having only 1/10. This 2 is telling you that you are having 2/10. Let's take one more tenth. Now if you are having this one and this one, you are having 3 portions. In this case you will say that you are having 800, that is 800 line segments, total line segments, and 1/10, the second tenth, and the third tenth. So you are having 3/10. You are having 3/10. And what fraction do these 3 portions will represent? These 3 portions, the value, the fraction of these 3 portions will be 3/10. So this 3/10 is nothing else but 3/10. And this, if you divide 3 by 10, you will get 0.3. Now if you are having 800 and 3/10, that means that it will be 800 plus 0.3, and this will be 800.3. If you add these two, you will get this number. You go on doing like this, the 4/10ths, then the 5/10ths, then 6/10ths, then 7/10ths, then 8/10ths, then 9/10ths. You have reached to this point, and therefore going by the same pattern, you will say that you have now 800 plus 0.9. Therefore this will be 800.9 when we are taking this 9 equal portions. But as we saw here, when we reached the 10th line segment, it shifted to this position. Now you are having 0 ones, and now you are having 6 10s. And when the 6 bundles of 10 line segments increased to 7, then to 8, then to 9, and then when we were having 10 such bundles, the total count of the line segments became 100. Therefore this place became vacant and it shifted to this place. So now you are having, instead of 7, you had 8 bundles. Now you are having 0 10s. Similarly, if you take this 10th also, like you took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you reach to 800.9. But as soon as you will consider this one also, that is, you are having now 10 tenths. 10 tenths. This 10 tenths, what fraction this will be? That is, if you are considering total 10 portions, this total 10 portion is what? The fraction will be 10 over 10. That means it is equal to 1. That means actually you have taken all this line segment portions and that is making one complete line segment. That means now you are having one line segment. You are considering one complete line segment. That means in this case you are having one line segment and that will shift here. That will shift here. Now since you are having 800 where you had 800.9 and you were having 0 ones, but now when you are after 0.9, when you are taking all the 10 portions, this will become 10 tenths. That is, you are actually considering one complete line segment. That is, now you are having one more line segment. Now this will be 1 ones. Why? Because you are now having one line segment, complete line segment. So this will become 801.0. Why 0? Because now you are not having any tenths. When you took 1/10, it became 800.1. When you took 2 tenths, that is this one and this one, it became 800.2. When you took 1, 2 and 3 tenths, that is here, it became 800.3. You went to 4 tenths, then 5 tenths, then 6 tenths, then 7 tenths, then 8, then 9, it became 800.9. But as soon as you were given this 10th segment or 10th portion also, that means that now you're having one complete line segment, and this is now one complete line segment. That means that this will shift into this group, that is of the ones, and now therefore you are having 801. That is, now you are having 1 ones and 0 tenths. Now you don't have any tenths. That is 801.0. So actually all these are representation of of decimal number. This tenths is actually telling you the place value of this point, that is the digit you are having just after this decimal point. The place value of this is tenths. As we have ones, we have tens, we have hundreds. So hundreds means that one bundle of 100 count of something, and 10 means that you are having a bundle of 10 same things. 1 means that you are not having any bundle but a separate items. In this case also you divided one single item into what? 10 into 10 equal portions. Now this was about tenths. Okay, this is actually what a tenths mean. Now we are going to discuss about, moving further from here. Now we know about tenths. The second thing will come into your mind is, what's hundredths then? What's hundredths then? If tenths mean that you take this one such item and divide them into 10 equal portions, what hundredths mean? Hundredths means that, let me take some new space here. Or can we do it here? No, let me take a new space. So this is, okay, I'm going to take this particular only, line segment only, and if this is Control C, we have Control V, we have here, we have this number that is 801.0, 801.0, we have reached to this point, but we have seen 800.1 also, we saw 800.2 also, 800.3 also, 800.9 also, and I showed you that how we reached to this point, that is 801, how it shifted to the group of, or the place of ones. Why? Because now we are having total 10 portions. Now you are having 801.0, that is, you have 0 tenths. You have 0 tenths. What if, let me just remove all those things. Okay. We have now same line segment divided into 10 equal portions. Okay. And after giving one portion, second portion, third portion, fourth portion, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and as soon as we got to 10, we have now 801.0. I'm going to pause video here because I have to draw certain things here, and then we'll continue our discussion. So I have, actually what I have done is that the line segment that we took, I copied from here, is this one, and I have divided each equal this portion, that is, we were having 10 such portions, and I have actually magnified this one. This is a magnified version of this particular portion, and even this particular portion has now been divided into 10 equal parts. This segment has been represented here, and you can think of all such segments as this one. This is the magnified version of each equal part, but in this case I'm only talking about this part. Okay, so this segment has been represented here, and all these have been divided into 10 equal parts. This is into 10 equal parts, that's represented here. This is into 10 equal parts, this is into 10 equal parts, and so on. All parts have been divided into 10 equal parts. So how many equal parts now we have? Now we have 100 equal parts. 100 equal parts. Again, we reached to this point, and we have seen how this line segment, we have one more line segment that has already been divided into 10 equal parts. That was further divided into, each portion was divided into 10 equal parts. Therefore, now we'll have total 100 equal parts. That is, this line has been divided into 100 equal parts. That's here. If I talk about this one, this portion, this will be what? What portion that it will represent out of this 100 equal parts? This will be 1 over 100. This particular portion will be 1 over 100. Why 1? Because we are talking about one part out of 100 equal parts. Therefore, the fraction represented by this equal part is what? 1 over 100. And that's what actually hundredths is. Hundredths. In a decimal notation, this is what the hundredths place value mean. We saw ones, we saw tens, then we saw hundreds, with thousands, then 10,000s, then we saw what is actually tens. Tens means that you divide any particular object into 10 equal parts and then start considering the parts. In this case, a segment has been divided into 100 equal parts. Okay, so now this is 1 over 100, that is now this is hundredths place. And now when you are having 801.0, now if someone gives you this particular segment only out of all the 100 equal parts, only this portion, now you will be having 801.0 and 1/100ths. 1/100ths. Why 100ths? Because you have been given only this section, this portion. So now you are having 801.0 and 1/100ths. This 1/100ths is actually what? 1/100ths means what fraction does it represent? This represents 100. So this is 1 over 100. If you will divide 1 by 100, you will get 0.01. If you divide 1 by 100, you will get 0.01. Therefore, this is actually 801.0 plus 0.01. If we'll add it, this will be equal to 801.01. This will be 801.01. What does it mean? It means that you have 0/10ths and 1/100ths. Okay, so we have reached to this point. What if you are given this portion and this portion also? So now you are having actually 801.01, or say now you are having 801.0 and this portion also and this portion also. You are now given two equal portions, so you have now 2/100ths. 2/100ths. This 2/100ths means what? What fraction does it cover? It covers 2 over 100. And if you divide 2 by 100, this will be 0.02. That means if you add 801.0 plus 0.02, this will be 801.02. What it means? It means that now you are having 0/10ths, but now you are having 2/100ths. Okay, let's suppose that now you are having this one, and this one also. You have been given 3 equal sections. So this time you will be having 801.0 and 3/100ths. 3/100ths. 1/100ths, then 2/100ths, then 3/100ths. So 3/100ths. And this 3/100ths is what? Is 3 over 100. And if you will solve it, this will be 0.03. It means that 801.0 plus 0.03. This will be equal to 801.03. It means what? It means that now you are having 0/10ths, but now you are having 3/100ths. Okay, you go on proceeding like this. You took one, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth one also given, then sixth one also given, then seventh one also given, then eighth, and then ninth, as you reach at the 900ths, when you are having 801.0 and 900ths, it means that you are having now 801.09. That's the way we did here. It means that you have 0 tenths, but now you are having 900ths. You are having 900ths. Okay. What if you are given this 10th portion also, starting from 1 portion, 2 portion, 3rd portion, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and you reach to this point, and then 10th portion was also given to you. So don't you think that now this section has been given to you? Because if you have been given this entire section, and this is actually what this section, and this is what this is, the 10th, 1/10 of this whole. This is 1/10 of this whole, right? So if you are given the 10th one also, the 10th portion also, now you are having complete 1/10. So in that case, now you don't have any hundredths. Now you are having complete 1/10. So this will be 801 point. Now you are having 1/10, 1, and this will be 0. Again, as we saw here, when we took this entire 10 equals portions, then it became entire line segment. After it became entire line segment, this 800.9 is now actually is 801. Why 1? Because now you are having one entire line segment. Similarly, if we have divided all these sections into 10 equal parts, therefore it is now 100 equal parts. Each part is now what? 10 equal parts. Each this 1/10 of the segment of this one is into 10 equal parts. If after 801.09, if you are given this section also, now you are having actually this whole 1/10, and this 1/10 is of this entire line segment. Therefore, now you will be having 0 hundredths, because now it has become 1/10. So now you have reached here 801.10. It means that you have 1/10ths, and 0 hundredths. But now you have been given this one also. Now suppose that this we have been given this one. Now this is the magnified version of this one, of this particular section. So I'm removing it here. Okay. Now this particular portion is the magnified version of this one. Let's suppose that after having this line segment, we reach to this point. Now once again you are given this one portion. Now again this one portion is what? 1/100, right? Each portion divided into 100 equal parts. Like this whole segment has been divided into 100 equal parts, and each is what? Hundredths. That is 1/100. So again you have been given 1/100, that is you have been given 1/100ths more. So let me remove this from here. Clear the space, Control X. Okay. So you have 801.10. You have now 1/10. This is here 1/10, but after having 1/10, you have been given one more this portion, that is you now you are having 801.10 and 1/100ths. Why 100ths? Because this has been given to you. Therefore, now this space will not be 0 because now you're having 100ths. So this will be 801.11. Is that clear to you? Now you are given another one. So this will be what? This will be, now you're having 200ths. You're having 200ths. So in this case, this number will change to 801.12. If you're given this one more, so this will be 801.13. Similarly, if you are given this fourth one also, you will be now having 801.14. That is, you are having 400ths. This one, then 801.15. That is the 500ths. Similarly, for 6, 7, 8 and 9th, as you reach here 801.19, that is, you are having 900ths. When you take this 10th one also, after having 801.19, now you are having this 10th one also. Now again you are having this next entire 1/10. You are again having this another 1/10. Now this will become 801 point. Now you are having this 10th and this is another 10th. Now you are having 2/10ths. And you are having 0/100ths, right? You took 1/10 that was represented here, and after having 100ths, that is the magnified version of this one, you are having now one portion of this, second portion, third portion, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. We reached to this point, and as you took this another entire segment, it means that you are having this another 1/10, and that is here. Now you are having 801.2, that is 2/10ths and 0/100ths. This is 2/10ths, 1/10 and 2/10ths, and 0/100ths. Okay, now you are having 1 and 2/10ths and 0/100ths. If you go on repeating like this, okay, now if you consider this section for this one, and next time your number will become 801.21. That is, now you are having this 2/10ths and one portion of this, so 1/100ths, and then if you reach here 801.29, the next one will be 801.3 and 0. That means that you have covered this one also. So you trace this entire line segment like this, and now you have reached to this point. Let's suppose you have reached to this point. What your number will be? Your number will be 801 point what? This will be 9, and you have reached to this point from here to here. This will be 9/10ths, because the 10th is here, and 0/100ths. Now again you start for this one. Now consider this magnified version of this one. Okay, so this is 801.9. the next one will be 801 point what? 91. You'll go on till 801.99. Why? Because you have reached to this point, and now only one line segment is left. So what do you think, what is going to happen? What will happen? If you are going to take this 10th portion also, that means that you have actually taken this one also, this entire 10th also. 1/10 tenths, the second tenths, the third tenths, the fourth, the fifth, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, and then 10th. It means that now you're having and one entire line segment. You're again having one entire line segment, and that will enter into this one ones into ones, right? So now your number will be what? Your number will be 800. Now you are having two ones. Why? Again you are having this entire line segment, and you are left with 0 tenths and you are left with 0 hundredths. Okay, so I hope that you are not confused. I'll just quickly rewind things again so that you don't get confused. In this case, you were having not any bundles but only one line segment, 2 and 3 and 4. So this was 4 ones, and this was actually a bundle of 10 line segments, and we had such 5 bundles. We are having here a bundle of 100 line segments, and we were having 7 such bundles. So on the basis of that, we reached to this point. Okay, then what we did, we took this one line segment and we divided into 10 equal parts, and on the basis of that I showed you this tenths. What do you mean by tenths position? As we were having ones, tens, hundreds, we will have tenths. So tenths is here, and we showed you that what actually tenths mean. Then we took the same line segment and then divided this into further into 100 equal parts, and then we made discussion about this hundredths place. So if any number, let's say that if number is 8075.964. okay, one important thing, always read them as 8075 but never read them as 964. No, read them separately. 8075 point 8075.964 and not 964. So if this place value was tenths, this place value is hundredths, this place value will be what? Thousandths. Thousandths. And the next one will be what? If here, let's say that you have 8. So for this, it will be 10 thousandths. 10 thousandths. Okay. What else? So we have covered this point and this point. Okay. I think that already this video has been very long. So we have covered tenths, we have covered hundredths, and yes, for the tenths, for the tenths place value, the multiplication factor will be 1/10. For the hundredths place value, this will be 1/100. For thousandths, this will be 1/1000, and for 10 thousandths, this will be 1/10,000. So this was all about the place value in decimal notation. In the next video, couple of videos we are going to discuss about problems. We'll solve problems on this decimal notation and all.